Hi, I'm Amanda, and this is Mandy, made by Mandy Roski. I don't even know my channel name, but it's okay. It's my second video. Um, yes, as I said, it's my second video. I know I said I wanted to do monthly videos, but my second video that I recorded was kind of poopy quality, and I wasn't really proud of it. So I decided to scratch it, and I got a tripod because what I was trying to do, I was trying to prop my phone on my computer, and then I was trying to use my iPad as a viewfinder, and it was just cumbersome and annoying, and the quality was garbage. So I scrapped it. I bought a regular tripod, and I have a microphone. I don't know, don't really notice a difference in the sound quality with the phone and the microphone, and I'm now thinking that maybe I have the wrong end plugged into it. But next video may have better sound quality or worse because I'm just going to switch the ends. Anyway, I also think I only had one finished object last month anyway, so it wouldn't have been a very, very interesting video. We're going to talk about my finished objects. I have three. However, I'm only going to show two because I gave away one of them. And if I can figure out how to edit, I might put a picture in when it's time to talk about it. But if you don't see a picture, I'll just link it to my Ravelry. I'm not that advanced in my editing skills yet, but we're learning. Anyway, so this is my traveler hoodie by Andrea Mowry of DreaReneeKnits. And I knit it in Quince & Co. Chickadee in the colorway Electric Blue, which was a limited edition color. And I really liked the color. But in order for me to get all of the yarn that I needed for my size, which was a size 3, I needed 11 skeins of yarn. But the Quince & Co. website only had 10 of the Electric Blue. So I bought them, and I'm like, if I need more, I'm sure like another place has just one. And initially I was gonna try to do it with only those 10 skeins, but then I added, I think about an inch or two of length, and I was getting nervous that I wasn't gonna have enough yarn. So I went and bought another skein of yarn and didn't end up touching it. I even think that if I did the drawstring with the same color, I don't even think I would have touched that last skein of yarn. So I'll just knit a hat with it. I'll find something else to knit with it. But speaking of which, the drawstrings I wanted them to be in a contrast color. So they are in Madeline Tosh. I think it's just called Tosh Sport in the color Espadrilles. And I've had this in my stash for a really, really long time, so it was important to me that if I was going to knit a contrast color, I already had to have the yarn, because we're not trying to buy a whole bunch of yarn because I'm in school and I don't start my new job until July. But anyway, I really like this sweater. It was a little bit of a slog because of the stitch pattern. There's a lot of purling involved, and I don't think purling is fun. So I would knit and be like, oh yeah, this is really fun. And then I'd get to the purl section, I'd be like, I'm not having fun anymore. But I like the overall product. I think it's really comfortable. I like the sleeve length. That gives me some Ariana Grande vibes, where, you know, she likes to wear her sweatshirts like this. I don't know if I'm going to use the hoodie, but I just like the idea of having one. And I do like the way that it fits. It doesn't give me a cone head like a bunch of knit hoodies do. It's basically, I feel like it's not revealing the pattern, but it's basically like knitting a giant heel in a sock. That's kind of how it was written. So if you've ever knit socks before, the hood's super easy. And if you've knit this before and never knit socks before and you're scared, you've already done the scary part. So go ahead and knit some socks. I'm a huge proponent of sock knitting, and we'll talk about that a little bit later. But yeah, I really like it. It was pretty fun. I really did like the hood knitting. Some people I've seen in their reviews, they're like, oh my god, knitting the hood was like knitting another sleeve, but I thought it was fun. I liked the short rows and all of that. So I liked it. And it's really comfortable. And I foresee myself wearing this a lot. My next finished object is a Sophie shawl. Well, it's like an in-between size from the Sophie shawl, and this is the Sophie scarf. I used the pattern for Sophie scarf and made it bigger. So I used Plymouth Yarn Company, I think it's Baby Alpaca DK, and the colorway is a number that I don't remember, but on Ravelry I've seen people list it as butter or buttercream, and I would agree. It's kind of a buttery color. So I wanted something that was longer than a scarf, but I didn't necessarily want all the bulkiness of the shawl. So what I did was I used my increases. I did the increases up until I ran out of one ball of yarn, and then did the decreases with the second ball of yarn. And this is the second time I've knit this, as in this is not my second Sophie shawl scarf. It is the second time I've knit this one, because the first time I knit it, I didn't weigh my yarn balls, and I was inadvertently knitting with the heavier one. So then by the time that I got towards the end, I needed like this much of yarn to finish, and I didn't have it. And I was trying to fudge it, but I didn't have any yarn that was comparable. I didn't want it to be like an obviously different color, and the closest thing that I had in color was like a Surrey alpaca, and then it was just too fluffy, and it was muddying the pattern, so I was like, fine. So I unraveled the whole thing. I also went up a needle size the second time, and I'm pretty pleased with it. It is long enough. You know, I could wear it like this. I could wrap it around my neck, like a long scarf. So I like this one. We'll see if I wear it, because I have a habit of knitting things that I think are cute and then I don't wear them. Also, I live in the South and it doesn't get cold for very long in the wintertime. So I don't really wear a lot of scarves. But maybe we'll go back to Colorado and I'll have a reason to wear a scarf, because it will be cold. And then my third finished object was another pair of stretchy baby socks. Also, I don't know if I mentioned, this is by Petite Knit. The stretchy baby socks were by Fabian Schulte. I am pretty sure I'm pronouncing her name wrong. And I knit them for another friend who was pregnant, and she had her baby a few weeks ago. And I knit them in the sapphire blue color from Ritual Dyes. And instead of doing the broken rib like I did with the green ones in the last video, I did 2x2 ribbing. And again, if I can figure out how to add a picture, I'll put a picture on screen. If not, I will link my Ravelry page. Now we're going to talk about works in progress, one of which I've already talked about on my channel, and the other one is brand new that I just recently cast on. So the one that I've already talked about is the Raccoon by Claire Garland. And since the last time I showed this to you, I have seamed the tail, seamed the rear legs, and started knitting the belly. And there's a few things that I feel like are important to know if you want to knit this. One of which is there is a typo on the pattern. Um, so I was following the pattern according to how it was written, and I ended up running out of the gray DK yarn. And I ordered a new ball, and then while I was waiting for it to come, I was reading all of these other Ravelry project pages for it, and a few of them mentioned the typo. And so what I did, I mean, I focused most of my attention on the traveler hoodie because I wanted to make sure that it was done before May. So I need to take a picture of it and submit it for her prize thingy. But anyway, so I was waiting for my yarn to come, and then, like I said, I read all those Ravelry pages and found out that it was not the right yarn combination. So I ended up ripping out the feet and then re-knitting them in the black DK, the beige yarn, and the dark brown yarn. So I did that. And then also, I feel like it's really important to watch the tutorial video, because this seam right here, to make the little thighs pop out, I had no idea what the written instructions were saying. I was dumbfounded, and I was going to fudge it and do it myself, and I don't even know what I was going to do. But basically, you seam the feet together, and then you seam this white part to this part of the thigh, and then there's a like flap that you seam to that seam. But I didn't understand the written instructions. I'm a visual person, so I need you to show me how it's done. I am not a verbal / written type person, so if you give me verbal directions without showing me, or written directions without showing me, I will not understand. But anyway, yeah, I just have to finish the belly, and then I think it's just more seaming and stuffing, and I think I'm gonna have to knit the front feet, the nose, and yeah. But again, it's a lot of seaming, and I don't enjoy seaming, so we'll see. It might still end up being a Christmas gift for my husband, even though I started it super early. But yeah, that is one of my works in progress. And then my second work in progress, my new one, is another Christmas gift. So this one is an Oslo hat by Petite Knit, and I'm knitting it for my dad. And this one is being knit in Cascade Heritage Sock, being held twice. There's a lot of dog hair on it, I'm sorry. Anyway, it's held double. Oh my goodness, there's so much dog hair. I'm sorry. Anyway, we got my dog groomed, but he still blew his coat everywhere, and it's still everywhere. Anyway, this is in the colorway Night, and I like black, but I was under the impression this was going to be an extremely dark blue, which I guess it kind of is. In the light, it does lean blue, but as I'm knitting, I'm like, this is just black, because I wanted to knit like a dark blue for my dad, but he'll like this because he's my dad. But yeah, this is just the beginning. I have to knit, I think, 21 centimeters, and then fold it and knit that together, and then continue knitting for length. So this one is a nice mindless one. I've knit this while I was watching TV, and it's fine. Like, I just have to make sure that I get both strands of yarn when I knit. Like, if I'm knitting without looking, I've noticed a few times, like I just did, I will drop either one yarn from the loop on the needle, or I won't pick up both yarns on the strand that I'm knitting with. But anyway, it's fun. It's mindless. I always like having a mindless knit along with a more challenging knit for when I want to like actually feel like, I don't know, like when I actually want to sit down and like think about what I'm knitting. And then this is for, I just want to watch TV and knit something. So I'm also knitting my brother an Oslo hat, and ooh, it's right here. I like filming here because I'm right next to my yarn stash. So I'm gonna knit my brother an Oslo hat in, I believe, I think this color is called Spruce. I'm not sure. It's colorway 5654. There's no name on it. But my family are Eagles fans. And so this is the closest color I could find. This is not dog hair. This is mohair that it was next to. But anyway, I am knitting him a hat to go with his like Eagles scarf. So this is the closest I could find to, I believe the Eagles color is called Midnight Green. I don't know. I don't follow football. Sue me. But yeah, so that's my brother's. And then that's all my current works in progress. And then since I'm almost done with the knitting for the raccoon, and it's just going to be a whole bunch of seaming, and then since this is such an easy, mindless project, I am going to cast on something not challenging, but something a little more attention needing. I don't know if that was the right phrase, but you know what I mean, right? So I put a poll on my Instagram page, which is made by _Mandy Roski. Go follow it. And the pattern that I'm gonna knit was not the more popular one. I don't do this to be contrarian, but sometimes I will ask people, oh, help me decide between this and this. And what it does is it kind of subconsciously helps me decide which one I really, really wanted. Because whenever I do these polls, I'll be like, please pick this one, please pick this one. And then I'll get disappointed when people aren't picking the one that I want them to pick. And I'm like, that's probably the one that you want. So it was between, I mean, I'm going to knit them both, but I put up a poll for Alpine Bloom by Boylan Knitworks, and then the Hazel Sweater by, I think it's Petite Knit. Yeah. And the Hazel Sweater won, but the whole time I was like, please pick Alpine Bloom, please pick Alpine Bloom. And so I was like, well, just knit Alpine Bloom if that's the one you really, really want. Also, the Hazel Sweater was really, really thick, and I am not one to knit for the seasons. I just knit what I want. But I also thought that now that I'm doing these videos, I couldn't really imagine wearing such a thick sweater in the summertime when the project will most likely be finished. So I decided to do a light fingering weight short sleeve sweater using these yarns that I got from the Ritual Dye Spring Equinox 2020 offering. And when I got it, I intended to knit a shawl, and then as my knitting, not knitting mojo, but as I've matured in knitting, I am trying to knit things that I would wear, and I'm like, I would never wear this shawl. So it sat in my queue, and I'm like, I really want to knit these yarns, but I will not wear this. So the other day, I kind of went through my queue, and I went through Ravelry, and I filtered everything to find something that would be suitable, and I came across Alpine Bloom, which I had actually been excited about knitting, but I didn't have the yarn for, and joke's on me, I actually had it. It was just assigned to a project that I would never wear. So the spring offering for 2020 came with one skein of Maiden in the Spring Equinox 2020 colorway, and it had one skein of Maven in the Sprig colorway. And luckily for me, I was like, I'm gonna need this shawl, like this one particular shawl, so I bought 2 extra of the Maven in Sprig. And like with this sweater, there is maybe like 40 yards fewer than what I need for my size. I think I'm knitting a 2 or a 3. I don't remember. So I'm gonna wing it, and I hope it works, because I don't think Ritual Dyes this color on Maven anymore, because I went on their website. I was like, if I run out, I'll just buy another one. And they don't have it. And then on Ravelry, no one is selling an extra skein or even their scraps. So I'm gonna have to make it work. Hopefully it's not too cropped. But I'm really excited. I think it's gonna be really cute. And then the offering also came with this super good smelling wool wash in a block. And I'm one of those people, like, it smells really good. It's Howood and Vetiver. And I'm one of those people, I like saving things for special occasions. And then by the time I get around to using it, it's expired. So this is 4 years old at this point. But I don't think it's expired because it smells really, really good. I just don't want to use it because then I won't get to use it once it's gone. But it smells really good. Anyway, I think basically what I wanted, I wanted to use this wool wash for when I eventually used this yarn. So once I'm done, I will wash it with this block of wool wash. Yeah, so I'll probably wind these up maybe today and knit a swatch, and hopefully I'll have enough yarn. But this is so cute. It came in this little circular knitting bag, and I actually used the one that I got for the winter solstice offering for 2019. I use that one a lot because I've already used the yarn for another shawl, which I don't wear. But it's really pretty. Anyway, I'm getting off topic. But yes, this is going to be an Alpine Bloom shirt, sweater, whatever you want to call it. And then I have some acquisitions. So I went home for spring break. Oh my gosh, it was a few weeks ago, but it feels like it was forever ago. I went home for spring break and I went to the Yarn Club in Virginia Beach, and I got, I don't know if this is a skein, it's a braid, I think, of Nube from Malabrigo in the color Potion. And again, I brought it home, and I'm not really spinning as regularly. Actually, I never spun regularly. I spun for like 2 weeks until I got home from Christmas break, and then I was like, it's gonna take time away from my knitting, so I'm not gonna spin. So I'm nervous to get into this because I don't want to ruin it, because I feel like my spinning skills aren't that great yet. So I still have a whole bunch of fiber from when I got the spindle. So I'm just gonna have to work on that, maybe do 15 minutes a day, like the DreaReneeKnits challenges. And then once I feel confident and consistent with the fiber I have, then I can break into this. I don't know what I'm gonna knit with it. It really depends on the weight of the yarn and all of that, but I think the color is gonna encourage me to want to spin more, because then I will be able to see, I'll be excited to see how these colors spin up. So yeah, I got that, and I'm excited to use it. And then while I was at the yarn shop, I got another spinning book. This one is the Ashford Book of Hand Spinning, and I like it because it tells you how to draft. And that was my that was my biggest obstacle when I first started spinning on the spindle. Was I was like tugging at it, and I hurt my thumb and my wrist because I was like tugging at it, like just trying to like manhandle it. And then come to find out, like all I really had to do was just pull from that little triangle, and then it made it hurt a lot less. And then this book that I was super duper excited about, 52 Weeks of Socks Volume 2, and I pre-ordered it. I wanted to get the paperback because I wanted it to match my Volume 1 book, which is beaten up because I used it so much. When I did my sock knitting challenge for 2023, I knit 11 out of the 12 socks that I knit were from 52 Weeks of Socks. So I am pretty sure I got my money's worth. This book is beaten up. Like, I spilled coffee on it. My dog has drooled on it. My dog has, I think he ripped a page. Yeah, whenever I would try to knit, he would just think, oh, this is the opportune time for me to jump on this book. Yeah, there's claw marks in this book. Yeah, I wanted it to match, so I waited to get the paperback copy, and also I was going to say I'm poor. I'm not poor. I'm on a limited budget. So yeah, I'm on a limited budget, so I was not going to be spending $50 on a book when I could spend $20 or $25 for the same content just in paperback. And I already have a lot of these socks in my queue. Yeah, so I'm super excited. There's one that has beads on it, and I love sparkles. I've never knit with beads before, but I've seen people demonstrate the technique and how to do it, and I'm pretty sure that the pattern here will tell you how to do it. I know that there's two methods. There's the like pre-stringing where you count out all the beads that you need and you string it on top of your yarn, and then when it's time for that bead to be put in, you just slide it in and then continue to knit. And then I don't know what this method is called. I'm going to call it the looping method, where you basically hook the yarn onto a knit loop and then continue to knit. But I don't know if and when I'm going to get to the sparkly socks, but where are they? Because I want to show them to you. Aren't these cute? They have a ruffle and they have beadwork. I think they're so cute. I love sparkly things. I'm like a bird. But anyway, there's a pair of socks in one of those editions that they remind me of the American Girl Kirsten pattern of her dress. And so I'm going to be a huge nerd, and I'm going to knit those socks with the Kirsten colorways because I'm a nerd. So that's everything I've knit, am knitting, I'm going to knit, and have gotten over the past 2 months. Also, a life update, if you care. So it is, I think, April 26th. I don't know what the date is, but I have one more shift of my preceptorship, which is on Saturday, which is tomorrow. So then I'm done with that. Then I have 2 weeks left of school, and then I do pinning, and then I have to sign up for the NCLEX. I haven't done that yet. I'm being like really irresponsible with my licensing exam. I signed up for the background check, but I have not gotten my fingerprints taken to do so. But yeah, anyway, the next time I make a video, I will have graduated nursing school, and I will not have taken my NCLEX yet because I don't know if this is true, but the dean came to tell us like what we needed to do to sign up, and she was saying that our license needs to be renewed based on your birth month. And so we graduate in May. My birthday is in June. So if I take the NCLEX like right after I graduate, instead of needing to renew my license 2 years from then, I will need to renew my license in 1 year and a month, because once it gets to June, that's my first year of having it. Again, I don't know if it's true. If you are a nurse or you are in nursing school, let me know. But in all honesty, I'm probably still going to take the NCLEX in June anyway. I would like to take it in May just to get it done and over with, but I'd rather be safe than sorry. But yes, so I will not be a licensed nurse yet the next time I talk to you, unless it takes 2 months to make another video like this time. But I'll be a nursing school graduate the next time I talk to you, and I hopefully will have a lot to show you, because I don't start my first nursing job until July, and I was gonna get a summer job, but I need to take statistics in order to enroll in the RN to BSN program that I want to. So I'm gonna take statistics over the summer, and hopefully, if it's like any of the other online classes I've taken, you can do the work as far as you want to. And so I'm just kind of planning on, in that month of me not really having anything to do, I could just do everything and get it done before I really need to start on July 1st. And then apply for the RN to BSN program to start in the fall. And I'm excited to finish that, because I don't know what it's like to only have one responsibility. For the past like 5 or 6 years, I have been working and going to school, whether it be working full-time and going to school like 1 class a semester to get all my prerequisites done, or going to school full-time and working part-time. Yeah, I don't know what it's like to only have one thing on your plate. I can't wait to figure out what that feels like. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed my rambling, and I hope you enjoyed everything that I have shown you. If you want to see more, like and subscribe. And if you want to see pictures, you can follow me on Instagram at madeby_Mandy Roski. And if you want to follow me on Ravelry, it's just Mandy Roski. Anyway, I look forward to reading what you have to say and making another one of these videos.